Greetings everybody, this is Emily from Of Pages in Ink, and today I will be doing my June wrap-up from my living room. I originally tried to tape this in my bedroom, but after 10 or 12 takes it just wasn't taking. So I decided to move to my living room to see if maybe a change of scenery would help me out. So let me know. It's been about 2 months since I last did a monthly wrap-up, so bear with me if I'm a little rusty. And also, go and check out my book talks, which is what I've been doing at least starting this month. And each video has like a book theme with it. There's a background and clothes for most of them, and makeup, and sometimes a head thing. And I think they're fun, so please go check them out. Give me feedback because I need it. I need to know what you guys like with them, what you think I should change, because as much as I'm doing them for me, I'm also doing them for you. So let me know. This month I managed to read 6 books, and with these 6 books I am officially 35 books into my 100 book Goodreads 2015 reading challenge. So I'm past a quarter of the way there. I just need to make it halfway there, and then I'm 3/4 of the way there, and then I'm done. And I still have a lot of work to do. I have decided that after much contemplating about maybe editing it to make it shorter, maybe 50 books, maybe 75, maybe 60, or something that wasn't 100. And I decided to not change it and to push forward and finish this challenge if it kills me. So, guess we'll see how that goes. Anyway, time to start the book talking. Talking of the books. Before I start talking about these books, I want to tell you guys that in this wrap-up, I'm only going to be giving my rating, my favorite thing about each book, and maybe a comment on it. If you want to know more about the book, I will make an attempt to insert a link somewhere, and you can go and check out my book talk on that book, because each of these have a book talk, and that way you can hear more about the book without me having to spend so much time talking about the book in this video, because it's a wrap-up. The first book that I read in the month of June, I actually started reading June 1st, so it was literally the first book that I read this month, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 star rating on Goodreads and on my Tumblr reviews, and if you have a Tumblr, please go check them out. My URL is the same as my channel name, my URL on here thing. Anyway, I have 2 favorite things about this book, actually. The first thing is a plot twist that I'm actually not going to go into depth on because it contains a massive spoiler. If you've read it, you're probably going to know what I'm talking about, but this particular plot twist was like 2 stabs in my upper body, one in the heart and one in my back, because it was just terrible and heartbreaking, and I was so mad. The second thing that I loved about this book was the diversity and the different powers, because each family had like a different power, and even Mare's ability is something that they haven't seen before, and there's like a broad spectrum of different powers, so I thought that was really cool. The second book I read this month was A Corn of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This book got a 4 out of 5 stars rating on Goodreads and on my reviews because I didn't love it. It's good, it's really good, but for some reason it just, to me, didn't warrant 5 stars. Don't really know what it is. Quick warning, there is kind of a sexier scene in this than there is in her Throne of Glass series, so if you've read that and you think that this will be kind of the same, there's a part where it's not. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which is probably one of my favorite things about it because I love Beauty and the Beast. That is my favorite fairy tale. So retellings of it are automatically awesome. The other thing I really liked about this book was the character Feyre and how, like in the Disney version, Beauty is known for her love of books, and Feyre's talent is mostly hidden except by her family, and then later the people in the place she's living, I don't know whether to call it a mansion or a palace or a house, because it's a big house. So anyway, is that she paints. So instead of reading, she paints, and she actually is illiterate. And I think that's really cool, and it makes her a unique beauty kind of character, like the beauty character from Beauty and the Beast. And it really makes her stand out, and it breaks her off from Beauty and the Beast, if that makes any sense. The third book I read this month was An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, and this originally got 4 out of 5 stars on my ratings and on Goodreads. I'm not going to go back and edit my ratings on my reviews, but I went back and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because afterwards it was constantly in my head, and I told everyone that thought about reading it to read it because it's so good, and I love it. I am so excited for the sequel that's coming out, and I really have to know what happens next. I think my favorite thing about this book was this particular scene where it's like this moon festival thing, it's the solstice, I think it's the summer solstice, so there's a celebration. I can't actually remember because I've read 3 more books since I've read this, but there's a celebration that happens, and I think that's probably one of my favorite scenes because Elias is there and Leia doesn't know it's him, and they can be together and joke around, and it's all cute without her freaking out because he's a mask. And Leia, or however you say her name, is around her people and gets to participate in a traditional celebration that she used to celebrate with her family and can't because most of her family is dead. So I think that's my favorite part of this book. My other favorite part that I think I would say about this book are the characters themselves, because each one is an individual character type. There's not really any similarities. Like Helen is the headstrong, knows where her loyalties lie kind of character. Elias is kind of not really laid back, but like he's not hard. He's got obvious feelings and knows when to joke around without being like a Joker character. Leia is the girl that will do anything for her family, and she is kind of like a one-track mind, and she's willing to risk things. And Izzy is the kind of sweet, quiet character who is not silent, but is very quiet for the first part of the story and then learns to open up. Chef is a hardened chef character. She's a hard older woman who has had a pretty rough life, and so I think the diversity in characters is probably one of my favorites. I'm gonna stop talking about that now. The fourth book that I read this month was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This got a 3 out of 5 stars because it just seemed to go really quickly for the thickness of this book. Which I mean could be explained by me reading it quickly, but I feel like it kind of went from point A to point B very fast. Like I wanted to see more of Karu's life and where she lives, because it's like painted as this like fairy tale-esque town, and I wanted to see more of her friend Zuana with her puppets. I think my favorite scene in this book is when Zuana's doing her puppeteer ballerina final project. I think that was my favorite scene because it was really pretty and really interesting, and it was in this fairy tale place, and Karu was watching her friend perform the story, and yeah, I want to see more of Karu's world before the angels come in, because it's just great. Yeah. The 5th book that I read this month was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and I loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and there are some references that are kind of over my head because a lot of it is 80s references, and me being born in the mid-90s, obviously a lot of those I've missed out on. But it was still really good, and I still think about it, and when I finished it and I started reading the next book that I'm going to talk about, I almost found myself in a book hangover because the next book that I read is nothing like this, and I haven't read anything like this. It's very largely video game-esque, and it was really entertaining, and I think my favorite character is Artemis, and I actually want to make my usernames in the future Artemis, but it's probably been taken. But it's really good. I definitely recommend it if you like video games and 80s pop culture references and a quest for untold riches. No, it's told. It's like multi-billion-dollar game. But yeah, go read it. The last book I finished last night, and that is Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I love the Raven Cycle series. I almost don't even want them to find the Welsh King, the Glendower. I was like, his name escapes me right now. I really kind of don't want them to find Glendower because then there will be more books. Because I just love the characters. I love Noah. Adam's kind of irritating sometimes, but he can be pretty cool. Gainsey is awesome. Ronan, he's starting to grow on me. I love their adventures and the magic contained within these pages, and honestly, this could be made into a TV show. I really think it could, and I'm pretty sure people would be hooked to it, because I'm hooked to these books. And I'm going to be reading Blue Lily, Lily Blue next, and I will do my book talk on this one and Blue Lily, Lily Blue together, so there is no book talk on this one. But there will be, so I'm not going to get into any more stuff about that. I already said my favorite, but I didn't tell you my rating. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. It's getting really intense, and I'm really looking forward to Blue Lily, Lily Blue, because things are really starting to happen. And yeah, so that was my pretty rough wrap up for June. I probably did maybe 20 takes of it and individual takes for specific moments. 'Cause it's been so long since I've done this. I'm so used to doing book talks and going on and on and on about books, and then I make some crazy mistake in words, and I'm like, I need to cut it out because it's terrible and doesn't need to be there. So thank you for watching. Please, like I said, please go check out my book talks and let me know what you think, because I need all the feedback I can get from you guys so I know what you like, what you don't like, any suggestions on what you think I could put in them. And if you like my videos, go share them with your friends, because like I said, I want feedback, so even if they don't like it, maybe tell me what they didn't like, so I can make them better for you guys to watch. and maybe suggest some games for me to play, because I'm always ready to play games. Alright guys, thank you for watching again, and I will see you in my wrap up next time.